What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am the Crypto Crow, and I'm going to be talking about a few different things. This is not going to be an extremely long video. It is Friday. I've been waiting for the weekend just to take a breather. I have been learning so much stuff this week, and the first thing that I want to say, so in this video, basically, we're going to be going over a little bit of technical analysis in terms of what Bitcoin's doing and where it's at. Welcome to chat, ladies and gentlemen. Alex, what's up, man? Sorry, brother, but you're not first. My own cousin can't make it first in chat. You're like fourth, fifth. I'm going to show you guys Joe Rowitz from Dragon Chain actually set up my first den, and the link is in the description below. I'm going to be working on that, and I'm going to be creating a couple other dens on the Dragon Chain social media network. I'm actually kind of excited about this, and as soon as it's available, like the system for monetizing it and incentivizing users and things like that, I'm going to be doing some things soon in regards to basically sharing ownership of my social communities on Den with you guys. So that'll be something fun. And then I'm going to be going over something that I found that's actually quite shocking and scary in a way. And I'm hoping that all of you guys that are using the same password for everything you do online, this is going to scare the shit out of you. I promise. You know, I've used a variety of different email addresses through the years. I used to use one of like maybe 2 or 3 different passwords back in the day until I became a YouTuber. And then I realized how quickly that needed to change. But I'm going to show you guys something that's truly going to scare the hell out of you. But the first thing that I want to say is I owe a lot of people on YouTube an apology, because, you know, I've always been known as just like a call it how I see it kind of guy. And sometimes it's calling myself out, on things. And one of the biggest misconceptions that I've had, and I know some of you are going to look at me and you're like, you know what, Crow, you lost my respect, yada, yada, yada. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Okay. But I've been absolutely hating on leverage traders, YouTubers that promote leverage trading on their YouTube channels with the idea that they're basically leading sheep to slaughter for their own profit, yada, yada. And it's absolute bullshit. I've learned it's just bullshit. I've been doing a lot of leverage trading just in the past week alone. I've used a variety of different platforms, not telling anybody which ones I'm using or what I'm doing really. Maybe someday. But from my experience, leverage trading, responsible leverage trading is actually safer than spot trading for a lot of reasons. And I am contemplating, here's the thing. I've been so down on leverage trading, I just didn't understand it. I really just didn't understand it. I didn't get it. And now the more I've learned about leverage trading, I'm understanding all of these different keywords that some of these YouTubers are using and why and what they mean. You know, when you hear take profit, well, you want to take profit here. And I'm always like, why would you take profit on something you're long and bullish on? That never made sense to me. With leverage trading, I get it. You know, obviously, I understood long and short and this and that, but I didn't understand the details of what that meant. High leverage trading is irresponsible and ignorant. I mean, that's when you know, the higher the leverage you trade on, the more you're basically gambling, okay? And some people are foolish enough or desperate enough to attempt to try and place a big bet on something, and ultimately, I'm live, honey. Okay, that's fine, honey. My daughter has friends over, and she hasn't learned, like when daddy's online, that you don't interrupt him about where you're playing in the house. So anyway, leverage trading is a very, very risky endeavor if you're trying to push limits, or if you're a desperate trader, or if you're doing things that you probably shouldn't. Okay. But overall, I'm sold. I love it. And I hope that doesn't, I want to do a very, very, very detailed video on leverage trading to show people why this is definitely like a green eggs and ham kind of scenario. And it's one of those things that ignorance, on my part, ignorance creates fear. I mean, really, and I've been a victim of it for a long time. And so, I don't know what to say other than, I'm sorry to all the YouTubers out there that I slammed, because I was pretty brutal. Now, at the same time, I think that there's a difference between promoting these leverage trading platforms when you're not even actually trading, because how do you really fully understand what you're pushing when you're not even using it? That I kind of have a problem with still. But to each their own. But overall, if you are adhering to proper risk management and you're not going over leverage, by over leverage, I mean anything above 10x is kind of ridiculous to me. You're begging to get liquidated. But on 5x trades, you're not as likely going to run into issues, and you can establish stop losses. And if you do a tiered stop loss strategy and things like that, you should never get liquidated in leverage. So there's a lot to it, and it's definitely complicated, but the reality is I have found it over the past week to be much safer than just straight up spot trading. Spot trading is basically, let's say I've got a Bitcoin, I'm looking at the price and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I think Bitcoin's price is going to go down. I'm going to sell my Bitcoin now and try to buy back more later. That's spot trading. There's no leverage. There's no nothing. It's I'm buying my Bitcoin, selling my Bitcoin. And that's what I've been doing for a long time. And honestly, I'm realizing that was stupid. And it was my ignorance that was keeping me that I kept doing that. I thought that was what you did. And that's a big part of the reason as well why I was always so stressed out on my trades. Because if I sell at 94.63 thinking the price is going to go down right now, which according to my charts, it looks like it is, but then suddenly it spikes up, well, now I'm buying back at the same price and I'm getting less Bitcoin. But when you're leverage trading, it doesn't really work that way. And I might do a video at some point, but I just wanted to let everybody know that I really do. I apologize to all the YouTubers out there. Some of them are still scammy as hell, but that's just the truth as I see it. All right, sorry about that, folks. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's my software. I don't know if it's my ISP. We've done a bunch of stuff to fix this, but it's apparently I'm still dropping streams. I used to do this kind of thing before, and I did go in and change some settings in my software, so I don't know if that's causing it, but I'm going to dive deep into that this weekend and try and get that fixed, because it's beyond frustrating. Okay, so we're going to make this quick, because I don't know how long this is going to go. I do have the Crow's Nest Den layer available, so we're going to be building on that more in the future. Now, this is the big question, okay? Have you been P-owned? In the description, there's a link to this website. I highly encourage you to try it out. Take whatever your main email address is. You throw it in here. Now, I'm going to use a really old one just to get as an example. This was an old online marketing site that I would teach people how to do online marketing. And this was the email that I used. That email and the passwords associated with Cafe Press is on a list as it was exposed, basically. So this email address that I used to use associated with the Cafe Press and whatever this is, Quinn Street. I don't even know what that is. I guess it was a Code Guru Flash Kit, webdeveloper.com. So, okay, so I guess this is a company that manages a bunch of different forums and 28 different sites, and they were all hacked. So apparently, which makes sense because that's what Dirty Leopard was all about, was online marketing, web development, SEO, stuff like that. So these two sites were hacked, and that email address and the passwords apparently associated with those two accounts were exposed and are a part of lists that people can search for. Now, I remember the password that I used on those sites back then, and I'm like, okay, I'm not worried about it. That stuff is long gone, long changed. But you can plug in your email address into this website, and it will tell you everywhere that you've used that website that has been hacked or exposed. I highly encourage you to check it out over the weekend and then get those accounts situated. Here's the thing, guys. If you're saving your passwords in browsers, if you're using the same password over multiple accounts, if you're not using two-factor or a YubiKey or a hardware key of some kind, you're begging for trouble at some point. I no longer save passwords. The only passwords I save in browsers are for stupid stuff that I just don't care about. And I never use the same ones anyway. I have literally had to, I have 2 books basically where I write down and I keep track of everything. And it's saving passwords in browsers, doing anything lazily online anymore. You're just begging. You're begging to get hacked. So some of you guys are looking at this site and you're thinking, oh, it's an email harvester, it's bad news, it's this and that. And I wanted to kind of point out, this is TroyHunt.com. This is actually the developer's personal website. And in it, he's doing constant security updates, letting people know what's happening, what's getting hacked, what's going on. This is the man's Twitter account, of which he's got 154,000 followers. And, you know, here, creator of Have I Been Pwned, Microsoft Regional Director and MVP, Plural Site author, online security technology, and the cloud. He's Australian. And then here is an article that he put together where it basically breaks down everything about the site, the purpose of it, how it came about, as well as all of the different people from law enforcement to you name it, basically talking about the site and how great it is and how useful it is for finding security breaches and different things. So, take a look, read through it all. But from everything that I've been seeing and reading, the site looks pretty legitimate. It's worth looking at. I mean, this is probably one of the most useful tools I've honestly found in discovering any email addresses. My guess is for subscribers of, oh my gosh, what's the, can't even remember the name of the service now, but basically the one where they monitor dark web activity and things like that. But anyway, they probably get some of their information from similar places related to data breaches and things like that. So look, it's very useful. I don't want to see anybody hacked or breached in any way. I want to make sure that everybody is protected as best you can be. Again, I want to make sure that I reiterate, always use Google two-factor. You want to try and put your Google two-factor on something that is not connected to the internet, like an iPod or some sort of offline mobile device. If you've got an old iPad or something like that, disconnected from Wi-Fi, you throw your Google two-factor onto it and use that, and just don't connect it to the internet. Don't download. You only want Google two-factor. You want that as the only app, because you don't want security flaws in other apps that may be on the device to be, hacked or whatever, and then somehow get access. I've seen where that's happened mostly in crypto and some of these crypto apps. But you just want your Google two-factor. You want that to be about the only app you're running on the device. You don't want it connected online. And to further your security, use a hardware key like a YubiKey. Links for this stuff is in the description of the video. But make sure you do this stuff. Don't ever use the same password more than once. Don't save them in your browser. Write them down. Keep a book. That way a book is easier to, if you're writing little passwords around on a whole bunch of little notebook pads or Post-it notes everywhere, those get shuffled around and lost and cleaned up. Keep it in a book, a ledger book of some kind, if you will. Make sure that book is secure. And just, start taking care of yourselves online, because realistically, as we get further and further into a digital age, the more lazy you are today, the more things are going to come back to haunt you in the future. And it's just not worth it, folks. Trust me, I've experienced what it's like to be hacked and breached and all this other stuff. And there's definitely very few feelings in the world that make you feel more vulnerable and violated than this. So make sure you're dotting your I's, you're crossing your T's. And that's that for this video. This video is so chopped up because I tried to go live and then I got a disconnection, and because of that I was a little frustrated, so I stopped the video early, and I wanted to kind of make sure that I went through everything and cleaned it all up into one good video that everybody can enjoy and hopefully share around. Spread the word. Share this video with your friends and family. Make sure that they know where they can check things out. It's free, you know what I mean? And it's very informative. So take advantage of it. And until next time, guys, crow your coins, and I'll see you again very soon. Thank you.